important deliberations that shall take place over the next few days. The insight provided in capturing the meaning and essence of this moment shall remain etched in the memory of delegates present in our mission to harness parliamentary diplomacy for global solidarity, equality, and sustainability. Through this address, you reaffirmed the role and significance of parliamentarians in playing their part to fashion a new order as we respond to current global challenges and opportunities. Accordingly, we also wish to extend our words of gratitude for the compelling remarks made by our affiliate bodies, the President of PAP, in his articulation of the perspective of African parliaments to explore opportunities that the G20 provides for Africa's people. The Vice President of the IPU, whose input underlined the important role of the Parliamentary Union in bringing together parliaments from across the globe as means to deepen representative and participatory democracy across all nations. The Executive Speaker of Overstand District Municipality, for your warm words in welcoming all parliamentarians, as well as the support provided to ensure our Parliament hosts a successful Speakers Summit. Equally, I take this opportunity to thank the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Didiza, for her leadership in clearly recentering the significance and impact of this platform in elevating all thematic issues. Program Director, we also want to echo the voice of our youth to capitalize on technology advancement to value add on our natural endowment. We also want to thank our women parliamentarians for emphasizing the importance of global financial reforms for the pursuit of just energy transition, as it has been established that climate change proportionally impacts women more negatively. Our presiding officers, the Deputy Speaker of the National Assembly, as well as the Deputy Chairperson of the NCOP, for ensuring a befitting opening session that represents the aspiration of all our nations and parliamentarians. To this extent, we wish to thank all speakers and leaders of G20 parliamentarians for traveling far and wide to form part of this momentous occasion. As we anticipate rich dialogue and conversation that shall underpin this spirited debates, the expectation of the people we serve is that the outcome of this summit truly translate our international obligation to realize development goals. We therefore look forward to our joint resolutions, which provides an opportunity to enact more unified voices and perspectives on the pertinent issues and themes before the upcoming G20 summit. These issues, as elaborated in this opening session, engender the state of the global economy, global trade, climate change, agriculture, technology, peace, security, human solidarity, and equality for all. Thus, through the maximum use of this P20, we truly hope all delegates and parliamentarians shall be more attendant to re-energize our determination in the call for deeper elaboration of our continental and global challenges. As I conclude, as we are challenged to influence rather than satisfying the standards set by others, we look forward to the opportunity to evaluate our future prospects from a more thoroughgoing standpoint. We thus thank you all and wish you successful deliberation. Thank you very much, delegates.
Thank you very much, Honorable Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces. Honorable delegates, just some housekeeping rules right now. I would request that all delegates remain seated And I will call for the speakers, deputy speakers, heads of delegations, and the chair of the houses to please come forward to do a group photograph before we adjourn for lunch. Give us a few minutes to clear the stage here, and then we will request you to please come forward. Speakers, deputy speakers, heads of delegations, and chairs of the houses. And thank you very much for being a wonderful audience.
principles of solidarity, equality, and sustainability. The P20 is a unique platform for strengthening global collaboration. It is an opportunity for the parliaments of the G20 countries to exchange ideas, to network, and to contribute substantively to resolving the most pressing issues of our time. We meet at a time when our world is beset by problems on a number of fronts. These problems include conflicts and war, climate change, digital disruption, geopolitical instability, pandemics, and other global health crises. These crises intersect, and though they may vary with respect to intensity and lived experiences, but they affect us all as the global world. As the institutional anchor of democracy, parliaments play a number of mutually reinforcing roles. The first is representative and representation. Parliaments are the voices of the people, and as such, aspire to reflect the diversity of their respective society and constituencies. The data of the Interparliamentary Union indicates notably progress worldwide with respect to the representation of young people, women, persons with disabilities, and minorities across the world. Secondly, parliaments are tasked with creating the enabling legal framework for the progressive realization of equality and for passing laws that align with the international commitment of their respective countries. These commitments, ladies and gentlemen, include the domestication of international treaties, incorporating human rights standards, and advances the sustainable developmental goals. Thirdly, parliaments hold governments accountable to their domestic and international commitments. They ensure that the necessary budgets are allocated to reflect these commitments. Beyond being chambers of debate, beyond advancing rights and overseeing executive powers, parliaments are the critical and crucial bridge between citizen and the state. They are a place where the destinies of nations are chartered. Human dignity is at the center of our aspirations as governments, as parliaments, and as society. The Brasilia Joint Statement on Parliaments for a Just World and a Sustainable Planet set a high standard. It declared a commitment by the G20 parliamentary speakers to deepen solidarity and parliamentary diplomacy to deliver people-centered solutions. This was reinforced by the endorsement of the Charter of Alagoas from the first P20 meeting of women parliamentarians, which committed the signatories to a concrete program of gender mainstreaming and gender budgeting in the world of their respective parliaments. We are greatly encouraged by the reports that have been received here today, both from the women and youth representatives, by the equally and ambitious high level of articulation, if I may say so, that concluded yesterday. We are particularly encouraged that the issues of women representation in the global climate response was a major issue of discussion, but more importantly, the issue of youth unemployment reflected upon this morning worries you as parliamentarians. It is clear that we need to pursue sustainable development in our respective countries first and foremost. We need to improve representation and inclusive participation in that development. For many, global solidarity is far removed from their everyday realities of access to employment, healthcare, education, and to a decent quality of life. We are contending with rising inequalities between and within societies and between the global north and the global south. In many parts of the world, rising populism, xenophobia, and extreme forms of nationalism threaten to undermine solidarity. It is therefore incumbent upon us as parliaments to bring our institutions closer to the people, to restore the bonds of trust, and to make all citizens part of the effort to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals. I'm pleased that the G20 Parliamentary Speakers Summit has been broadening citizen participation as a standing item as we seek out new and innovative ways to achieve this inclusivity. The summit is a valuable forum for the exchange of best practices between the different G20 parliaments around how we can consolidate faith in democracy and adapt to contemporary realities. 15 years since the first informal consultation began that led to the first G20 Parliamentary Speakers Summit, this mechanism endures as a platform for bringing a parliamentary dimension to global governance. For the international commitments of the G20 to be effectively translated into national realities, and for the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development Goals to have practical meaning, implementation must be felt on the ground and by our citizens. As the bridge between citizens and state, the challenge for parliaments in the world over is to translate hope into purpose and promise into action. I look forward to our engagements today, but also more importantly, looking even further to a bold, forward-looking declaration from this year's summit as South Africa hosts the conference. One that is matched by tangible steps that will be taken by all the parliaments represented here today to give practical meaning to solidarity, equality, and sustainability. On behalf of His Excellency President Ramaphosa, the people of South Africa and government, we welcome you and hope you enjoy your stay, but most importantly, wish you fruitful deliberation during your summit. I thank you.
Thank you very much, the Honourable Minister of Justice, for inputs and observations of the 2 days that we've had the meetings of the women and the youth, and very, very important observations that has come from the Honourable Minister. Honourable delegates, it now gives me the great pleasure to call upon the Chairperson of the National Council of Provinces, the Honourable Msweni Tsipane, who will pass the vote of thanks.
Co-Program Directors, the Speaker of the National Assembly, Honorable Togo Didiza, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, Honorable Kubai, Executive Mayor of the Overstand District Municipality, Councillor Klaas, His Excellency the President of Pan-African Parliament, Honorable Chief Charumbira, the Vice President of the Inter-Parliamentary Union, the speakers and leaders of G20 parliamentarians, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed with great humility and honor that we give a vote of thanks on this historic occasion of the 11th G20 Parliamentary Speakers Summit held on African soil. We wish to extend our thanks to the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Development, Honorable Kubai, for the delivery of the keynote address, which was quite instructive in setting the scene for the important deliberations that shall take place over the next few days. The insight provided in capturing the meaning and essence of this moment shall remain etched in the memory of delegates present in our mission to harness parliamentary diplomacy for global solidarity, equality, and sustainability. Through this address, you reaffirmed the role and significance of parliamentarians in playing their part to fashion a new order as we respond to current global challenges and opportunities. Accordingly, we also wish to extend our words of gratitude for the compelling remarks made by our affiliate bodies, the President of PAP, in his articulation of the perspective of African parliaments to explore opportunities that the G20 provides for Africa's people. The Vice President of the IPU, whose input underlined the important role of the Parliamentary Union in bringing together parliaments from across the globe as